Hey, hey, hey! How was your Saturday? Y'all, today we're talking about something exciting. Something you've been dreaming about for so long, but you keep finding yourself slipping off, or you keep finding yourself feeling lost or not fulfilled. I got some good stuff for you today. I decided to do a 3-part video series, and I'll try to be going live around 1 o'clock on Monday and Wednesday. Hey, Nicole! That way you guys can kind of know what my schedule is, but we're going to be going into this awesome stuff today and for the next 3 videos. So I'm super pumped. So mark on your calendars, Monday and Wednesday, 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be talking about good stuff. Good stuff. So what are y'all doing this Saturday? If you're watching live, put hashtag live. If you're watching replay, put hashtag replay. Hey, Elena, how are you? Hey, how are you guys? All right, so the first thing I want to talk about was motivation, because oftentimes we start an avenue or an adventure, and maybe halfway through or partway through we get discouraged and we quit, or we don't. My glasses are driving me crazy. We find that we don't feel fulfilled. Like, maybe we've reached that benchmark of creating a stable financial income for ourselves, but we still feel unfulfilled. And then we lose motivation, and it's like, why am I doing this? How many of you guys felt that? Put a 1 in the comments if you have lost motivation to do something that you wanted to accomplish. Here's the reason why. First of all, because when you aren't motivated, or you are procrastinating, or you are feeling lost or stuck or whatever in your current circumstances, you just have to look at it and say, like, this here is telling me something. This here is telling me that I am not aligned. This is telling me that there is something in the way of why I really want to accomplish this. And oftentimes we get so lost in the stories that we have made up in our lives, in our minds, and feeling lost about what is it that we really, really desire and want. So, for instance, anybody who wants to create a ideal body for themselves, they get caught up in, I have to eat a certain way, I have to exercise a certain way, I have to drop out all carbs or whatever it is. And the truth is if that's what you believe, that's what your body believes. And if you don't believe that you can release weight easily, your body and mindset is going to make it difficult for you. Same with financial situation. What your current reality is right now is what you've created in your mind, what you have felt into. If you felt panic and fear about finances, or maybe gaining weight, or whatever it is, it's most likely that's what you're creating in your circumstances, is because that's what you feel. But if you feel abundant, if you feel into already having what you really truly desire, it manifests easily into your life. Excuse me. So the first thing, talking about motivation. So going back to that, you have to go back to motivation. You have to realize that if you're procrastinating, whatever, you have to go back and say, okay, get really clear. Is this really what I want to do? Is selling this product, being with this company, really what I want to do? Is just settling for, I'm just going to be this weight for the rest of my life, or this is just going to be too hard to achieve, or I can't compete, whatever it is. If you settle for that, that's why you're not motivated. Because inside, your blueprint is saying, I can do more. I am capable of doing more. But because your mind is holding you back, you get depressed. You feel anxious. Your reality is not what you truly desire. So that's all it is information. When you feel stuck or depressed or like procrastinating what you have to get done on a daily basis just to keep your family afloat or whatever, you're not following your passion. Your blueprint inside is saying, again, I am capable of more. Let me show you what your potential is. Okay? So the next thing that you have to recognize too is when you have finally figured out and got really clear on, okay, this is not working for me, this is information, I'm going to get really clear on what I really, really, really want. So be clear. There's no such thing as impossible. There's no such thing. No such thing. It's only impossible to close-minded people. If you want to create something, you can achieve it. But you have to be first willing to look at the old story, where it came from, and be willing to put it away. So in these 3-part video series, I'm going to be giving you guys homework. And if you come back on video 2 or 3, I'm going to be checking in and see how the homework went. But that's your first bit of homework, and I'll give it again at the end of the video. But just looking and seeing, okay, observe your life. What in your life is not what you want right now? Write it down. Recognize what stories or beliefs are playing in your head that are causing that reality. So I know I used to believe that sugar would make me fat. I'm eating plenty of sugar and I'm losing weight consistently. It's not true. You have to decide, you know what, that story that I used to believe about this specific thing or that I never have enough finances, of course you have that in your life. If that's what you believe deep down, that is what you are going to manifest in your life on a daily, like in your life. And again, you have to, with motivation, like, when you have not only gotten clear on what you want, but now you are deciding, okay, you know what? I am going to do more with this. This is what I want, and I'm going to put this other stuff aside because that's not my passion. And I'm going to go for what I want. Then when you're on that path and you start to feel like, I don't know if this is the right thing, or I am doubting myself, like, this might have been too crazy. What was I thinking? I just want to live the average life. I decided I don't want to be a millionaire anymore. It's too hard. Or whatever. Then you have to remember your why. You have to get so super duper clear on your why. Why did you decide to start this in the first place? If your why doesn't make you cry, it is not strong enough. It is not strong enough. So you have to recognize, okay, why did I decide to do this in the first place? Go back to that. Who am I serving when I am following my passion? What am I showing the possibility of my kids? Like, what is my example? What is my light doing for other people? Because I'm choosing to follow after this passion. And recognize how this following this passion is serving you and your family and your friends and the world. Because nobody benefits if you play small. Nobody. There's nothing safe in playing small. If anything, it belittles your worth. It suffocates your potential. You have to be willing to look at the facts and be willing to shift your mindset and be willing to look at the old stories, no matter how hard it may feel to look at those old stories. Look at them. Change them. Decide that you are going to write a new story for your life. So that's your homework for this video, is I want you to get out a journal, get really clear, look at your life. What in your life is not in alignment with what you truly want? Do you want more finances? Do you want a more fit body? Do you want a better relationship with your kids, your spouse, family members? What is it that you want and truly desire? And be willing to once you look at that, so that's the first question. Once you look at that stuff, then I want you to go and say, okay, what's the old story? Like, what is the story in my mind creating this reality for me? And then asking yourself, is this story ultimately true? No, it is not. It is not true. But ask yourself, is this story ultimately true? Can I choose a different reality? Can you allow God to show you what else is possible? He talks about in the scriptures, if you have but a grain of mustard seed, like that's a tiny, tiny seed. If you believe even just that much, he can move mountains. Which, it sounds impossible. There's a mountain right there. You have mountains in your life that he wants to show you is possible to remove. And once you decide that that story is no longer true, you get to rewrite the new stories. What is it that I want to believe is true? For me, here's some of mine. I believe that every day I can eat exactly what I want, and I'm becoming more and more fit. And I'm losing weight quickly and easily. And it is fun. I believe that I make more money than I can possibly spend. See, these are stories that through experiences we have ingrained in our minds. So they're going to be a little hard to uproot, but it's not impossible. And when you put the new story in, it is so empowering. It is so incredible. It is so fulfilling. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. And remember this, that God doesn't put desires in your heart unless he can help fulfill them. Right? He doesn't say, he says he will always provide a way. Always.